This video has been long overdue. It's been 7 months since our last gem spending guide, and I'll cover how you should be spending your points in the daily store as well. So let's go ahead and discuss how you should be spending your gems alongside your points in the daily store. As we know, gems are a limited resource, so being efficient with your spending is a must. My number one recommendation is the following. To join our Discord server if you haven't already, we have a contest for a $50 gift card currently in progress, so join and check the announcements on how to enter. This is in celebration of the 20,000 subscriber milestone we just hit, so a huge thank you to all of you for bringing us here. There will be more giveaways happening in the next videos, so stay tuned, and be sure to comment your invite codes here and on the Discord server as well if you need to unlock Lovecat still. Now to discuss gem spending, there aren't actually too many sources where you can spend your gems at, but summoning in particular is a very important one. I'm going to tell you now, if you are trying to summon for exotics or mythics, you're not going to have too much luck. Ideally, you should be spending your gems on summons until you get a summoning level of 8 in each category. You want to start with companion summons first. This is because companions make up the majority of our damage, this being due to the egg throw and sparrow figurine build meta, which I do cover in our best build guide video, so be sure to check that out. After companions, you should be leveling up equipment or skill summons, depending on which you already have mythics for. This is in order to get the initial boost from the own effect bonuses that mythics provide. Now, if you don't have mythic summons for either of those summon categories, I would argue and say weapons are better to summon towards instead of skills to get the level 8 requirement for first, that being after you finish off companions to level 8 first. This is because having an increased rate of summoning for both legendary and epic summons is a must for weapons, because their own effect bonuses are monstrous, this being at the level 100 bonus they provide, which is a huge impact towards your damage. Which is why I suggest summoning weapons first over skills. You can compare your own effect bonuses to the following weapons I have here. These are the level 100 versions, which provide a much higher own effect bonus. And don't be mistaken, the bonuses it provides from level 99 to 1 compared to 100 is a huge difference. And honestly, skills only do provide us with marginal damage gains overall, as their own effect bonuses aren't heavily impacted once they do reach level 100. So get your summoning levels to level 8 before resorting to free summons thereafter. The cost to get your summons to level 10 is too high. I personally just did free summons all the way from level 8 to 10 because there are more efficient areas to spend our gems on. And the area in question that I mentioned is the daily event. The daily event does come in many different forms. As you can see here, this time around it's for the first year anniversary. During events it falls under different names and enemies, but at the end of the day, it'll just be called either the daily event or AGN, which just stands for Angry Giant Newbie, which is just the original event boss. Again, that's just the normal daily event boss when there's no special event like the anniversary one we currently have. Now, hopping into the event, you know already that we're given free event and ad passes daily, and we're able to spend gems to get further entries. Personally, for me, when I first started the game out and until the later stages of the game where I had more daily gems, I would do the daily event until the entry fee was around 1,500 to 1,900 gems, which is generally enough to place in the top of the event, especially when you do the 4th day event glitch, which I do cover on this channel for more points. This is because we want those daily event points to spend in the daily store. The amount of gems you spend is really based on how many gems you get daily. You generally don't want excess gems since they don't provide a whole lot of benefit for you, so you want to spend your gems to the point where they replenish again the next day. This is why I recommend the 1,500 to 1,900 gem threshold for the daily entry cost. Now, when we do have those points from our spent gems, we spend them in the daily shop. I'll also cover what we need to spend in terms of our points usage for a baseline, but when it comes to shop refreshes first, Generally, I go up to the 750 refresh point for the gem cost. Again, it's a balancing act between how many gems you get daily and how many gems you plan on spending on the entry fees for the event boss. I would try to reach that 750 gem refresh cost in the shop, since it's very important to get some of the resources that are located in there. The number one resource you should be purchasing are the clockwork enhancements. This is one of the only ways to get the toy enhancements, by purchasing them from the daily store. Otherwise, there's no other good sources other than the daily quests you have, but those hardly provide any toy enhancements. Now, aside from the enhancements, the next best pickup would be the Dwarven King dungeon keys. This is for those juicy trait points we desperately need to get perfect traits for, and a large amount of summons that you get. The summons you get from the Dwarven King are vital for your levels, especially in the early stages of the game, where we need tons of uncommon, rare, and epic summons. Common summons are received through the alchemy shop if you are struggling with that, since Dwarven King doesn't really output too many commons as part of the rewards. Otherwise, it's the primary source for most people to get high level summons. This is done through the fusion feature, to the point where we're actually able to get exotic summons like irradiating comet over time. Other than Dwarven King keys and toy enhancements, a lot of the purchases here are at your discretion. I advise not buying legendary summons, or any summons for that matter. If you're extremely desperate for a mythic, such as Ice Frog, since that is a very useful summon to have, you can do a one-time purchase just to unlock them, but at a cost of 30,000 points per mythic, it isn't the most efficient use of your points. Everything else in the shop should be ignored, like coins and forks, this being except for mining gear. If you're low in progression in your mining tab, this is one of the only ways to get extra ore to boost your research progression, but you can do this at your own discretion. As you can see, I've purchased plenty of pickaxes and I keep putting my mining off, so I've saved these pickaxes just so you can see what it's like to quick mine thousands of pickaxes. So again, your ideal purchases are just toy enhancements and Dwarven King keys. If you need gems for some reason, you can purchase the boss rush keys, but you're just getting a refund at that point for the points you already spent to get those points in the first place. So that's really up to you. Otherwise, there isn't too much else you should really be purchasing in there, and really there isn't that many gem spending sources for you to spend them on once you have your summons to level 10. Again, from using free summons past level 8, or some mix of free summons and gem summons if you are in a rush. The daily event is our only area where we really spend our gems on, since it takes hundreds and thousands of gems to get exotics from multi-summons, so I really don't recommend that, since the pull rates are abysmally low. Well, that was it for today's video. Go ahead and subscribe so I know you enjoyed and want more videos like the one you see here today. Comment down your code or any questions you may have, and join our epic Discord server for all the latest info. We have close to 7,000 Legend of Slime players after just 1 month of being open, so come join in on the fun. See you around in the next video.